So we have three different types of hacksaw. We have hacksaw A, B, and C. And so the first hacksaw is a striking hacksaw. This is the sawing bone of the arm. Come. This is the sawing bone of the arm. This is the cutting bone of the arm. So when we do, let's say, an arm in triangle, we put this here, and this is the cutting bone, right? So we cut with this bone. This is when we do a square choke, when we do a cross face, all these maneuvers. This is the cutting bone because we're pulling with the biggest muscles of our upper body, and we're cutting. We're cutting with it, okay? But when we saw, we don't have the same force with this. It's all tricep, and so this is a different motion entirely. We can't cut with this, we saw, right? This is the saw. So there's three different kinds of hacksaw. The first hacksaw is a striking hacksaw. So that's when you deliver a strike, and we'll explain what it is in a second. The second kind of hacksaw is a hacksaw that comes off of a braced cram. So when we cram and we're trying to get somebody off of us, so if you are here and we're fighting and I'm too close and you don't like it, then you put this here and then you cram against the face or you cram against the neck. And so you would shove, or if you're really being mean, then you would go bang, bang, and you would actually strike with this. And then this would saw me, yes? Right? So that's it, and it helps me to turn. So remember we did some of the wall stuff. We talked about you can cram off the wall, so you control one arm and you cram off, right? So it's a sawing sort of motion, okay? That's hacksaw B. And then hacksaw C is more like when you have to saw your way out of a maneuver. So let's say, for example, I had you in a scarf hold. So I had you like this, and I'm pulling your head down. You could insert one hand inside the hole, and you could grind off of me with that bone across this arm and push out. So you push out and cause me discomfort and maybe break me down. That won't work against a strong person or a super mean aggressive person, but you could saw off and see how it works for you. You can push and then saw off, and it doesn't feel particularly good. So try it on me. So you come in, you're in here, you're doing this maneuver. So give me in the here. So you're in here, and I go, okay, I want to get out of this. So I'm going to take my arm, and I'm going to and try to cause you some discomfort with this bone and against your soft meat as I push. Those kind of maneuvers where you saw across it because it's all you have. And I just did these in the order of their value. This is a very low value maneuver. I only explain it because this type of thing can work, but it could just as likely not work. And is this good? No. This is worse, okay? So these are low value maneuvers. This sawing motion doesn't hurt that bad. It's not really worth it, okay? But this is a pretty good value motion, right? This is pretty good, all right? But the real devastating power of the hacksaw is in the strike. So how does a hacksaw strike work? So when you throw your punches, just remember, when you throw a hook, or you throw a jab, or you throw reverse, whatever you throw, you need to be moving in. The falling step of the stomp when you come in, you throw, when you throw your jab, the fall of a reverse, so when you throw your big right, you want to make sure you're moving in, and you fall into the strike, because there should be a little encroach with each blow, right? When you throw a hook and you come in, whether it's a fist to the side of the neck or whether it's a palm to the side of the head, you're moving in as you do it. And so if you throw across, you can throw a hook to the neck, and then you can let that forearm hit if it hits. That way, if you miss, it's going to look like, instead of a hook to the neck, like this, it's going to look like this. And the forearm is grazing. And you can see that you're doing it right when the back does that. Because the same thing's going to happen to his head or his neck when you come across with that blow. So Do you get the hacksaw intentionally? I would say you can if you desire. But you're mainly going to get it by accident because you throw a proper hook and you graze it because you're constantly moving in on it. So you're going, and he pulls back a little bit. Who cares? If you're moving in, then your hacksaw is going to come across it and you're going to see this spin. So will you come in, please? So if I'm going to hit you in the side of the neck, boom, and I'm coming in on that thing, if you move back, if you pull your head back, then naturally my forearm's going to grind across you because I'm moving in. All right? So come to the bag and don't tear the meat off your arm. This is a canvas bag after all. And I'd like for you to throw a left hook against the bag and throw a couple. Boom. And then, but I want you to begin to move in such that your forearm is grinded across the bag as you progress. It's almost like an elbow in a way, but you're really trying to hit with the fist if you can. But imagine that it's going to graze right along the bag at about neck height, because you don't want to throw that big left hook against my hard knuckle head and break your hand. Aim for the neck, and then if you aim for the neck and I pull back, then you're going to move forward and you're going to grind that strike across and maybe finish with the elbow. Okay? And that's a horrible strike, isn't it? Because it's either going to be a fist to my neck, or it's going to grind, or it's even going to follow up with an elbow at the end, because this is just a giant crushing blow. This is the thing about rough and tumble. It's not for sport, it's not for points, it's not a 50, it's not a 3-point must system like you see in boxing or whatever. It's not that. It is devastating power from the moment you get touched. We avoid fighting at all costs. But the minute this fight starts, then you unleash hell. Whatever the most powerful attacks you have are, you need to hit him and you need to go in, and really let it go, right? And if you get stuck, then you can grab off of it and come back across and then grab a hunk of the cloth or the hair or whatever and continue your blow, because in rough and tumble, strikes are grabs and grabs are strikes. So throw me a few hooks against the bag, and then I want you to throw like 3 good hooks. Move in, get you're a left foot striker or you're a right-handed forward. So use your right hand, because you're a right hand forward fighter, right? So use your right hand, boom. Boom, right to the neck. Yep. Boom. Yep. See how it's fun? Good. Again, boom. And so alternate a little bit. Do like one to the neck, and then with the fist, and then intentionally come forward and hit the forearm with a little bit. So boom, and then the next one grazes. Shoo. Yeah, see how it's jangling? That's great. Again. Boom. And then bang. Yeah, you see the difference? Yeah, boy. That's it. Yeah, I like that spin. That tells me you're working. Go ahead. Yeah. All right, other arm.
Switch feet.
Yeah, that's switch feet. Yeah. It's mainly going to be a lead leg. It's mainly going to be a lead leg. All right, now switch. Now I want you to come at it like a braced cram. So get a little bit closer to the bag. And now I want you to go ahead and get it closer, a little closer to the wrist. Yep. And then I want you to bang it. I want you to bang it like it's his face. So bang. Yep. Bang. And do a double. Do a bang, bang. Bang, bang. Yep. I'll resist a little bit. Go ahead. Boom. Boom. Yep. I'm watching that foot. Yep. Make sure you're moving in. There's certainly nothing wrong when you do that with going ahead and actually stomping when you do it. Because if you actively stomp, then it does a couple of things. It encourages you to stomp hard. And if you got the foot, isn't that great? like bang, 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 okay? It's so much more violent It's explosive. It's explosive movement. So this is a fun fact. The kickboxer, the undefeated middleweight kickboxer, Bill Superfoot Wallace. If you've ever attended one of his seminars, one of the things he teaches is that he always would, a lot of times would stomp before he did an attack. And he said that the sound of it, the mere sound of it, gets a flinch reaction, and it only takes a little bit of a flinch to really be able to hit a guy hard. So what he would do is he would go boom, bang, and then do his side kick right after the stomp, because guys would immediately think they were hit. It's boom, and then they would go and then he would go bang, and then he scores with the side kick. So it's loud, it's aggressive, it enforces the fact that you're here. And look, when are you most likely to get hit? When you're trying to hit somebody else. Because if you're not trying to hit them, they can't hit you, right? So when you move in, if you make a stomp, an aggressive stomp, then you have planted yourself. You have riveted yourself, and the likelihood that you'll get pushed back is less. So here's an example. Let me illustrate. So just step forward. Okay, now stomp forward. You feel the difference? Step forward. Does that feel solid? And now stomp forward. I moved back that time. So this is aggressive. This is real. This is, my name is Gabe, and I'm serious about this. But the minute he puts his hand on you, or he begins to hurt you, or he's going to hurt your family or something, then you are no longer a puppy. You are a snake now. The foot stomps and the aggression begins, right? So you might say to yourself, right? And then really go after that thing, because you're twice as rooted. When you stomp, you ain't going nowhere now. Okay? Try it. So see if it feels stronger if you stomp. Oh yeah. I hear the sound of it. Change feet. Other side.